Jai, listen here, you bloody oaf. I need to get in to see your master. Leave or I'll break your neck. You shit-same spawn of a second kind of bilge rat. Let me in. The monster is looking at a frenzied Jai Hidari in cold silence. Hey, you pile of hot dung. Yeah, you dumb ashmag. I'm talking to you. Jai Hidari's looks match her coarse speech, disheveled, ratty, and bereft of all her jewelry and rakish glamour. Her eyes, locked on the gatekeeping monster, are brimming with fury and desperation. And her voice resembles a gruff bark. Here's the deal. I need to see your master, to take back what is mine, you hear me? He and I have unfinished business. It doesn't concern you. And besides, Jai notices you and breaks off. Shireen, you're alive. She grits her teeth. Apologies, Ophelia, one moment. She turns back to the monster. I'm with her. I only need 5 minutes. Don't be a sekek. The monster leans forward to take a closer look. The master said no. Only she is allowed. Go away. Oh, looks like you're not the sharpest tool in the shed, you piece of... Jai breaks off, starts coughing and throws her head back, drawing a labored breath. To your surprise, you see living flesh where her neck implant should be, punctured by narrow scars showing where the augment was once grafted onto the woman's skin. Now listen here, you ugly mug. I have an offer to make, and you do well to take it. What happened to you? I was in there, you understand. Jai breaks off and helplessly points at the entrance to the homunculus's chamber. That's where he cut me. The many-armed ashmag took away my breath. He started by cutting off my head, but I was alive and conscious. I hung from the wires and watched what he did to my body. He took out the implant, the throat, the lungs, the whole thing. Then he grabbed a chunk of flesh, messed with it, sewed it into place, and everything came back. Jai is overcome by a hacking cough, flecks of blood on her hands when she draws them away from her mouth. I'm dying, Ophelia. Dying again. You're dying again. Why? It's the Carcina, Shireen. Jai spits out the word and shuts her eyes tight as if the word itself hurt her. What's wrong with the homunculus giving you new organs instead of an implant? Because they're not organs, they're shit. The mines left me with busted rags for lungs, and when the Carcina started, Jai sobs, I nearly died, Shireen. By the time I saved up enough for an implant, I was coughing up blood every day. I almost didn't make it. And now this Xenos Ashmag, this son of a star jackal and a blood-faced Drukari slut, grew a Carcina out of my body and shoved it back into my throat along with some shitty organs he'd grown in a bloody jar. It seems we have much to discuss, Jai. Jai guiltily lowers her head. We sure do, Ophelia. I guess the rip-roaring yarn about the princess from a desert planet won't cut it anymore, but I'm begging you. The woman raises her head and looks at you with eyes glistening with tears. Later, okay? I need to see the homunculus. I need my implant. Don't let me die the way the rest of the mine rats do. Not that way, Shireen. Any way but that. This woman is with me. The oaf clumsily scratches at the fresh scar at the top of its head and concedes. Fine. The master permitted companions. She is a companion now. May the Exalted One shower you with blessings, Shireen. I always knew you were a decent sort, not rotten inside. A bit out there, but not rotten. Jai bends over in yet another coughing fit and spits out crimson-tainted clot. As ye take me, I should move my arse while I can still carry it around. Sure lost a lot there? Death rattle. Meet. The master ordered that you be let through. When you approach, a few augmetics spring to life inside the monster's bulk. An injector hisses, filling its blood with compounds that cause its veins to bulge and its muscles to swell and twitch spasmodically. I've never heard that word before. What kind of creature are you? The monster snorts and puffs out its massive chest. I'm an icohist, servant of Master Cervantes, his meat driver. What's an icohist? An augmented warrior is called a rack because the homunculus invades his nature like a conqueror, wrecks the mundanity, and creates perfection from whatever is left. An icohist is the superior among the racks, as well as the strongest and the most frightening. What offenses earned you this hideous transformation? Not offenses, labors. I toiled to be granted this honor. I begged for it, and I received it. Perhaps it is the only way to survive in a frightening place like this, but you have my sympathies nonetheless. It is the weak who need sympathy. I am not weak. The roar is magnified by the echo inside the helm and hurts your ears. I'm just pulling your leg. The monster huffs strenuously. It seems to be perplexed by the sophisticated nature of your social gambit. I have no more questions. I wish to pass. The master gave his permission. The Hulk subtly moves over. Well, yeah. Oh, wait. Of course, Jai leveled up. Fuck, I forgot. Also didn't check her inventory. Fuck. You good? Right, yeah. Alright, Jai, real quick. Weapon skill. No, ballistic skill. Coercion. Easy.
I always have a backup plan.
Oh, Vigdis! Raver. For the bars of the grates you're walking on, you see a bottomless abyss. It beckons you to jump in and promises an embrace softer than any feather bed in the world. Ah, they're all just shadows. The rebellious steps are trying to buck you off to make you lose your footing and break your neck. The thick curtain shoves you away. It is surprisingly strong for a lifeless piece of fabric. Oh, Jesus Christ. The creature in front of you is a patchwork of skin stuffed with darkness, corruption, and sharp objects. Staring at you with its scalpel eyes, it grumpily remarks, "Such a disobedient specimen. You're still not dead. An anomaly." Its foul, corrupt thoughts reach out to you, groping at your face. "I need help. But I see you will soon become a very obedient specimen. Convulsed spasms, hysterical reactions. Come here." The creature pokes you in the chest, its triangular fingernail easily penetrating your skin. A strange sound throbs at the edge of your awareness, a sound similar to your own screams. A grotesque spider-like figure looms over you. Its limbs wave frantically, chittering and clicking as they rip something apart, then stitch it back together. And you realize its canvas is your flesh. The Xenos' gaze is indifferent, and his low voice echoes through the room. "The sample has been extracted. The specimen is alive. Body and mind expected to function within normal parameters, monkey." "Praise be to the Exalted One, Shireen. I thought you'd up and pegged it and left me in this shithole." "Silence, specimen, or I'll take your speech organs and your head." There's something fundamentally wrong with the Xenos' silhouette and its twitchy, abrupt movements, and it sets your mind reeling in disgust. Each of its mechanical tool appendages seems designed to be as sickening and horrifying as possible. What happened to me? The control worm in your nervous system detected my proximity. It signaled it was dying by injecting a lethal dose of a hallucinogenic euphorant into your bloodstream. A resourceful individual. That thing in my head is your pet? The Drukhari holds up the pale maggot, the same one you saw in Mazarai's hand. As you watch, the tool appendages perform a swift dissection. The maggot's flesh bursts under the scalpel-like claw and blossoms into a disgusting, slimy flower. The Xenos' slow manner of speaking creates an unnerving dissonance with the frantic movements of his limbs. I grew this specimen specifically for you, Monkey. During your interrogation, it intoxicated your feeble senses to limit unnecessary resistance. What a curious experiment it was. I usually extract control worms from specimens posthumously. You possess some degree of bodily fortitude. Do you eviscerate everything you lay your hands on? Evisceration is one aspect of my most respected art. His scalpel fingers scrape together like a hushed metallic shriek. Let's not say any of that. The Xenos thoughtfully clicks his appendages, studded with dozens of needle-thin stingers. Are you Tervantius? You are absolutely correct, specimen. I am Tervantius, the arch-machininator, homunculus and conductor of this place that staggers the imagination and soul. My anatomical opera. So what do I owe you now? You will serve me. Such is life in the spires. The Abrenian urged me to pay attention to your allegedly extremely gifted self, specimen. Let us see if you make a good tool. Same as you, little moth. The Xenos points a mangled limb towards your light. Unless, of course, the darkness of Camorra burns you as fast as the others. Your light flinches. What does this mean, homunculus? Who knows, Ashrani? Who knows? The Xenos makes a clicking sound. What exactly did this Abrenian tell you about me? The Xenos lets out a strange sound that almost resembles a scoff. This information should not burden your undeveloped mind. The Abrenian told me enough to give you the chance to enter my anatomical opera. That is all you need to know. You, a Drukhari, would do business with a human. How remarkably open-minded. Do business? The homunculus looks puzzled. I will do no business with you. I will use you. You survived a battle in the arena, which means you have uncommon parameters for your kind. You are a lesser organism, true, but the towering heights of my wisdom make it difficult to distinguish between your inferiority and the inferiority of most of my kin. What do you want from me? You'll return to the arena of the Fatal first. You'll kill a few of the witch's fosterlings for me. You might even spill the blood of one of the blood-stained proselytes. The homunculus looks at you as he delivers an imperious speech. They are long overdue for a small lesson in humility. They've forgotten their place. They lack respect. They do not appreciate my work. They fail to recognize my authority. Still staring into the distance, he continues to list his grievances with maniacal thoroughness. Will I get out of this, or will you coerce me as you do everyone else? Coercion will be more than enough. If you disobey, I will turn you into material for my creations and ensure that you feel and are aware of every manipulation performed on your flesh. But if you do what I tell you, I will let you live a while longer. Cooperation will increase your odds of survival as long as you continue to be of use. I will maintain your organic parts and perhaps even let you play with some of my less significant samples. I shall serve you if you help me make my escape. The response is acceptable. If you behave like a good specimen, monkey, you may eventually receive my help in escaping Camorra. Jai coughs violently. Help from you? You think anyone will believe that after your foul experiments? Jai touches the scar on her neck and coughs again. The Fleshmaster is mad enough to help us escape in favor of his own unholy designs, but the price, Alantak, will be unfair and terrible. Obedience will be rewarded. Take your crude gear with you. I abhor such technological banality, but a creature undeveloped as you may find it of use. You hear one of the joints in the Tevantius' arms click. As for your task, Ebius and his blood-stained proselytes are here right now in my anatomical opera. Go and look at the ones who will be your executioners when the time comes for you to die. Oh shit. Let's go. Fuck. This is gonna be very overwhelming. The sheer primitiveness of your technologies. Go, specimen. Deliver Tarantius' message to the blood of the blood to the arena witches. The homunculus gestures imperiously at the exit. I would like to speak with you about a member of my retinue who was delivered to you. Which specimen in particular interests you? Well, I was trying to talk about Jai, but I guess that's not this one. I'm looking for Heinrichs, my companion. The monkey male with a consistent connection to the veil. Beautiful endurance for pain. His stubbornness produces high-grade essences of tormented, positively frothing with agony. Wait until he is expended, and you may have whatever is left. Those from my retinue deserve better than to be confined by you. Relinquish them. Tevantius gives you a look of confusion. Why would I, specimen? With a full escort, I would have better chances of succeeding and contributing to your plans. Then find yourself other fighters. The chasm has enough prisoners, mercenaries, and gladiators. My specimens are not yours to waste. There's no way this works, because he could just bring me back to life again, and I know this. I recognize your power over me and beg you for leniency. Tevantius responds with a derisive smile. You're so naive, monkey. Have you been convinced by your impotent mind that I would be appeased by such a trite demonstration of obedience? You should be on your knees whenever you're in my presence. Now get out of my sight. I'm looking for my tech priest, Pascal, the specimen prone to technological compulsions. He did reveal that name during his interrogation. The homunculus twitches his spindly blade fingers the way an insect moves its legs. Working on him was a curious process. He resisted my enhancements with such intensity, but then the specimen fell into depression. So I lost interest and cast him into the chasm. A flawed specimen. He must surely be dead by now. I was curious to see what kind of symbiosis might emerge between rudimentary monkey augments and my own unflawed creations. Much like cartilage infused with steroids will swell up a subject's feeble body, new computational circuits sprouted throughout his algorithms. I found the process enlightening. I've learned all I wanted. Do not waste my time. I require your aid. You forget your spell, specimen. Go and serve my will, and should I ever decide to show you any favor, I will do so at a time of my choosing. My success benefits you. It is reasonable for you to help me. The homunculus waves you off in irritation. If you are unable to make yourself useful, I would rather wait for you to die and find myself a better tool. You should be worthy of my attention, not a drain on it. Is there anything I can offer to repay a being of such brilliance for the attention he may graciously grant me? Cervantius' smile is a strange combination of contempt and pleasure. Your paltry possessions do not interest me. If you had something that could intrigue a master sculptor such as I, perhaps a remarkable piece of organics, then I might grant you a short few moments of my time. If it is a sacrifice you want, artisan of flesh, then I am ready to offer myself as one. Your light's voice vibrates, but she keeps her eyes locked on Tervantius. Will you take my flesh? I will take more than flesh. I can extract something far more valuable from a single shred of your organics. The homunculus smiles unnervingly. This does interest me. I will not remove much of her. Her functionality will not suffer. Your light, why? This will be a step upon the path of atoning for the errors of my past, Alantak. If my sacrifices will bring you closer to salvation, I will commit myself to the hands of this tormentor. Well, I guess if it's not much... Tervantius produces a device fitted with an unusually long needle. Try not to squirm, little insect. The needle needs to go through your spirit stone, heart, and spine so I can collect all 3 samples at once, and it is so very fragile. Your light presses her lips together and nods. Do your worst, flesh stealer. I do not fear you, nor do I fear pain. She goes on to mouth those words over and over like a mantra when the homunculus drives the needle into her chest. A click comes from inside her body. Your light pales, her face twisted in torment, but she remains as still as a statue. Very slowly, Tervantius pulls the needle out of her, examines it critically, and then finally nods. The sample was successful. He gives your light a dismissive glance. I have no further need of you. You took my companion's respiratory augment, and now she is dying. Return it immediately. Tervantius places an appendage on his chest in an almost comically human gesture of wounded pride. What striking proof of the innate shallowness of your kind. After ridding her of that crude device, you refer to it as an augment. I restored an intriguing feature of her genetic code. So be it. I will not squander my best materials on her. I will return her mechanism without delay. First, let us remove the redundant parts. Several instruments of death with blades of varying length, thickness, and curvature appear in Tervantius's hands. He bares his teeth and addresses Jai in an insinuating voice. Which one do you choose? Jai's mouth twists, and she looks ready to unleash a torrent of profanity in the homunculus's face, but stops herself and then swallows her ire. With her head bowed, the smuggler lies down again under the Xenos' knife. I hate this. We good? I was kind of expecting that dialogue to continue. I require more of your precious time. Veterans Electrocraft? Okay. My condition has been rather grave since my arrival in Camorra. Can you mend my body? With a loud click of his scissor-like fingers, Tervantius' voice turns ghoulish. Let's see what kind of interesting damage your body has taken and which parts of your miserable organics can be improved without inflicting any substantial harm on your sanity. Try not to scream. Some specimens end up tearing their vocal cords during this procedure. Then again, you will scream whether you want to or not. Great! Awesome. Big fan. Okay. I shall need equipment if I'm to kill your enemies. The servants are always dragging worthless trifles in here. I have no use for them. Find yourself a club or sharp stick suited to your abilities. You could try something more advanced, assuming you're not afraid of accidentally killing yourself with it. Wonderful. Attacks with the Glimmer Steel Blade inflict bleeding 4 if the target fails a toughness roll. Tight. Attacks against the target suffering from toxin. Apply the toxin effect with the same power to all enemies within a 2-cell radius. Well, you know, that's not great, but... Immune to slow and immobilize. Also not great, but, you know. Where it gains 10 strength and 5 toughness. Well, that's pretty fucking good. We found one there. Restores lore Xenos wounds. Okay, I guess the idea is that you know how to use it correctly, more than anything else, but that's just so weird. I will not use these, almost certainly, but, you know. Yeah, So, let's do inventory management real quick. Since I need to find everything again. It had actually, like, equipped everything again by itself, so, or more or less, so, cool. I wish to know more about you and your craft. I am not in the habit of conversing with specimens, but if it increases your motivation to serve. What is your craft? An absurd question, befitting your small-minded kind. The homunculi are artists of anguish and masters of flesh. The delvers into unexplored sources of pain, the greatest among their people. My head holds a brilliant intellect, my hands command power over life and death, and my body is the pinnacle of surgical discipline. Our minds hold the knowledge of hundreds of generations. Are you aware of the beautiful variety of essences that can be extracted from the psychic energy of a dying sentient creature? Of the ways shades of torment and methods of termination alter an essence's properties? This is the great alchemy of death and transformation. Until this day, I could only dream of meeting such a wise and enlightened being. The homunculus's limbs react with an excited clatter of blades. I have few equals in Comora. My knowledge is vast, and it goes beyond the mysteries of flesh and essences. I've observed many disjunctions where the disruptive energies of the unreal erupted here in the webway. I've studied that devastating force and learned to harness it. I've created psi stiflers to keep the space around this spire intact. I've touched knowledge so ancient. Tavantius abruptly ends his speech, casts a suspicious look at you, and then snaps. It is not necessary for you to know this specimen. Am I to understand that the most fearsome Drukhari warriors are created by artisans such as you? Without a doubt. Even the most skilled witches and the mightiest Kabbalites are outstripped by the pure destructiveness of our genius. Yet I long ago rose above the building of commonplace battle beasts. The monstrosities I create are unique. My last specimen, the Chontonus, surpassed every trifle ever made by my rivals. I fed it elite warriors until it escaped and hid in the mangled sector. I would have caught it, but then a new idea drew my attention. At present, I'm working on a grotesque of previously unknown power, built from the most exquisite and exotic body parts from strong fighters. Specimen, should you ever see the corpse of a fine warrior or a mighty creature lying at your feet, cut out the best part and bring it to me. Grotesques are the thing outside, by the way. That monster, that's a grotesque. I shall find you some intriguing samples. Monkey K Morag Alantak. Do you not get enough monsters in this accursed city? Good specimen. Your cooperation will be rewarded. Why did I survive the interrogation to which Marazai brought me? Your body was given to me for disposal. It was thrown into the cesspit. The homunculus's voice grows thoughtful. It is an anomaly that the specimen did not die. I must consider fitting the disposal chute with a shredding mechanism. Your light shakes her head. The master of flesh is twisting the truth, Alantak. Had the Imbrenian not interfered in the Archon's trials, it is unlikely that anyone would have survived that questioning. Let us stop there. Are they suitable for your new monster? The homunculus digs through chunks of flesh with enthusiasm of a hungry vulture. Finally, he snaps. Good materials. Good specimen. Bring me more. I must take my leave. Great. Awesome. So, where are those other people that are supposed to be here? Presumably not the homunculus's minions. Oh, Ulfar. The bars of the cage are sturdy enough to stop a tank or the fury of a post-human. I can't talk to him? I can. Are you ever gonna stop? Okay. Singing softly under his breath, the man of enormous proportions is intently stripping raw meat from a bone with his teeth. His unwashed red hair is falling into his face. His beard is matted and blood-stained, and the aforementioned teeth look more like fangs than any human equivalent. A less knowledgeable person might not recognize this giant humanoid, but you are well aware that this is a space marine, an angel of the Emperor. The scar tattoos on his body, which at first appeared abstract and primitive, together form an angular image of a wolf's mouth with bared fangs. This person must be the genetic offspring of Lehman Russ, the space wolf of Fenris. Fenris Holja Vlak?
Fenris Yoda, mortal. You know the old words. Good words. Strong as a rock. Sharp as the blade of a force axe. Deadly as a kraken's tooth.
So true.
What do you want?
Study the man. The huge body was strangely overgrown red hair, with scraggly, overgrown red hair, perfectly suits the deep, chilling voice of this man, of this beast in the guise of a man. Tribal scar-like tattoos cover his chest, arms, and back, and you glimpse intricate braids in the mass of unwashed hair. His body bears as many pale scars that you cannot count them all, and his muscles bulge beneath his skin like boulders. He looks like a statue carved from stone. It's clear that captivity has sapped this prisoner of none of his physical power. Your assessment is confirmed when you spot the remains of a Drukhari in the pile of carrion at his feet, likely one of the homunculus's servants. The Drukhari's flesh appears to be making a fine snack for your new acquaintance. Who are you?
I am a wolf.
How'd you come to be here?
My pack answered the Inquisition's call and came to the Coronis Expanse. There was a battle, and then...
I was not expecting this guy's voice to be so tinkered with, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't think they'd... he has like a slightly robotic tone.
The young wolves yearning to be meat for their brotherlings. To a feast of bolters they went out roving. Though they were but few, one long fang with them went loping. Not to see them cut down by scythes unclean. The pups he sent scattering, and there stood alone the paths guarding. For a foe he long spied, one worthy among unworthy. The song of swords singing, they clashed with clamor and skill, until stood the old wolf upon the bones. Then, by the birds of battle, was he brought down. Was that clear enough? This saga sounds less interesting in prose.
I wish to know more about your brothers.
That butcher sent you to spy for him, did he? Or do they know nothing of the Emperor's angels, the space wolves of Fenris? Or the great Lehman Russ in your corner of the galaxy?
Why does the homunculus keep you in a cage? Stupid question, honestly, but...
For his own safety. When I am not busy killing inhuman spawn in the arena, the Xenos fear my will.
I want to help you. You are on the box art.
Who are you to offer me help? You stink of Xenos. I see you are on friendly terms with them. You are not sitting in a cage, and you smell of someone else. Someone spiteful and cunning. You cannot help me.
Don't they feed you?
A predator does not eat only when it is hungry. There are many reasons to eat.
There must have been a reason for this bloody repast. For a moment, the vicious grin loses some of its sincerity, and the bloodthirsty prisoner casts an intense, scrutinizing look at your face, as if trying to read your thoughts. You must be planning to escape, yes?
And why do you want to know?
Entirely fair. I have no more questions. You do not know the language. The sound seems crude and mangled, but not entirely lacking the harsh dignity of a form of Gothic, while also sounding similar to the rumble of a landslide, sharp and choppy guttural phrases tumbling forth in a harsh rhythm. Let's do it. You close your eyes and enter the flow of the song like slipping into a fast-flowing mountain river. Words rise up naturally in your mind. They are not the same ones sung by the prisoner, but you sense their aptness. Verse flows forth from your lips, full of surprising poetic metaphors and bloody details of a nameless hero fighting monsters under the light of unfamiliar stars.
You are the one who has supped the mjord of the Skjalds, I see. In the long haul, some of my brothers will be eager to tell you of their exploits so that you would sing a saga of their deeds.
A warrior such as you could prove useful to me.
To get what you want, you will have to convince two very headstrong individuals. Me and my captor. That claw-handed Xenos.
Well, why don't we have a chat with him right now and see if we can make an arrangement? Master, allow me to take the Space Marine you keep in a cage. No. The homunculus snaps curtly, and he returns to his work. Noticing that you are still waiting for something, he hisses irritably, still not taking his eyes off his experiment. If you wish to continue wasting my time with your pathetic pleading and whining, specimen, then you know the price. Pay up or get out. I have nothing to pay you with but my own flesh. Please accept it as a gift. Tavantius thinks for a moment. Your tissues are of little interest to me. You are a rather unremarkable piece of meat, monkey. However, luckily for you, I happen to be in need of a fresh spinal cord sample. Every movement and breath reveals new shades of intolerable pain. All you can do is grit your teeth and conquer it, as an obedient specimen should. Without warning, the homunculus's limb sees you in a death grip, and a shrieking drill bites into your spine. You want to scream, but you cannot. Your throat convulsively constricts in agony, preventing you from drawing a single breath. Your jaw twitches, clenching and unclenching with such force that you nearly bite off your tongue. Just when you think you cannot take any more, Tavantius extracts the drill bit with a squelching crunch, and closes the wound with some kind of staples and needles. Obedient, specimen. So be it. You've earned a few minutes of my attention. The answer is still no. This particular monkey specimen has phenomenal parameters. I previously studied 2 other specimens of the same breed, but have yet to untangle their genetic secrets. He also performs well enough in the arena. I will not part with the last specimen. Sure, the loss of some monkey could never impede the work of a great mind as yours. Perhaps the genetic subtype of all 3 specimens was defective, and this is the cause of my limited success. In that case, the loss of this specimen would not be significant. I recommend pain as a means of pacification, and you can take his armor. I find it entirely unintriguing. Tavantius hides you a bone key. That was so much easier than I expected that I'm astonished. I actually can't believe he just agreed.
Is there money to be made?
I need your help. The prisoner looks at you expectantly without stopping his chewing, but his expression shifts subtly, as if affected as if his affected crudeness of mind and manner have been replaced by focus and cunning. I am planning an escape. Are you with me?
Why would I be? You are a stranger. How can I trust you? You could be an enemy. Worse, you could be an idiot.
We are both servants of the Emperor. We ought to help each other in a perilous place.
Do you serve the Emperor? Or are you a puppet with the hand of that Xenos butcher up your arse? How am I to know whose words you speak? Yours or his? How am I to know what plot you're trying to draw me into?
Don't you want to slay Xenos with me?
Why didn't you say that at the start? What did you expect? Did you think you would waft the scent of slaughter under the bloodthirsty killer's nose, and it would rush off to do your bidding?
Are you a coward, then? Afraid to come out of your cage?
When I rip your insolent tongue out of your throat, do not ask why. This is why.
Tervantius gave you to me. Join my party.
Gave? Well, if he gave me to you, step into this cage and take me. You think a filthy blasphemous Xenos could do whatever he pleases with me? Come here, you wretch! You have hidden on the other side of those bars long enough! Come in here and repeat your filthy words so I can kick them back into your bloody, stinking muscle!
Holy shit, he's going for it, dude. Let's go.
Fine. You got a rise out of me. And from what I can smell, you did not soil yourself in the process. I respect those with courage. I can work with you. It seems Tervantius is not as clever
Oh, I got
as
it right.
to appear if he's letting me out of the cage. The joke is on him. Good steel I have already. But if we are going hunting, I will need my wolf skin. What did you say your name was?
Let's go. Chapter 3, and we found him. Let's go. What does he do? He is a soldier and an arch-militant. This all seems very probable, yes. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. All done. What gear do you have? Whew. Plus 20 strength. Let's go. Space Marine's recoil is decreased by strength. The Space Marine's melee attacks also apply staggered on the targets. Okay. Type. 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 Costs 0 OP and deals an additional strength. Okay. 10% armor. Damn, this guy's tanky. He should be, but, you know. As long as the wearer has performed both melee and ranged attacks this turn, every enemy in a 5-cell radius that is smaller than the wearer suffers 1 stack of perplexed. Okay. Whatever you say. Do we have any medkits? Can you use them? You cannot use medkits, so we'll just give you some grenades. Okay, great. We did it. We finally found
Rise
the
to the
Space
top,
Marine.
or get
Heinrichs
left in
is
the dust.
officially cancelled. We have a stronger arch-militant now.
What is that?
Alright, so we gotta go find Pascal still. And Heinrichs is apparently somewhere, you know. Bye.
A job for me.
An empty vial is lying on the ground. It contained reprotane, a stimulant that heightens one's perception of moving objects but hinders their ability to see stationary obstacles. Interesting.
Let us not dawdle.
Bit of a weird one there. Sounds like Pascal should be around
Watch yourselves.
here. Ah.
One and it's done.
Oh, never mind. Tendons enhanced with synthetic thread, 10 times more resilient than regular tissue and capable of withstanding tremendous strain during a fight. Presumably I would give that to Tervantius. Where is Pascal, though?
I always keep my options open.
Ah! The crooked figure wrapped in crimson looks nothing like the Pascal Hahnemann that you knew. Before, his silhouette, hunched though it may have been under the weight of his Pententia coil, used to radiate authority and the power of restricted knowledge. Now, he simply looks broken. His raiment is soiled with dark red bloodstains and black blotches of scarred unguents. His mechadendrites wriggle sluggishly like dying snakes. Pascal does not look at you, for his gaze is focused on his own body. There is a horrible gaping wound in his chest, and you see glinting, clanging mechanisms swerving within. Pascal has plunged his fingers into the wide, dripping maw of the wound and is in the process of palpating his metal innards with great care. It is difficult to say if the procedure that Pascal has undergone was torture, sacred augmentation, or vivisection. His flesh is covered in fresh sutures, interspersed with wounds that no one has taken the trouble to stitch up. An ordinary human would have long since bled out, but the Ferrum Sanctium sustains the bodies of the adepts of the machine god. His metallic insides are exposed to the eye of all the vulgar and bloody naked, in all their vulgar and bloodied nakedness. Pascal, can you hear me? This statement is true, Ophelia. Pascal looks up at you. His skin has gone yellowish and clammy from the lubricant-like sweat, and there is something strange about the pupil of his left eye. You look closer and realize that the shape is no longer round. It is a tridecahedron, yes. What happened to you? An act of defilement. This unit was subjected to a profane invasion. The dry words coming from the Vox speaker rustle like sand under the cold layer of formality. You sense panic. A Xenos touched my Ferrum Sanctum, removed parts of it, and changed other parts, branded my true flesh with ulcers of forbidden metal. What became of you after our capture? This unit was immobilized, transported to the laboratorium of a Xenos with the designation Tervantius the Arch-Machinator, studied, anatomized. His vox begins to vibrate ominously as if he is about to burst into a hysterical scream. Then this unit was changed. Its sacred augmentations were subjected to restructuring, complete replacement, modification. Then this unit received basic medical assistance. Then this unit. The voice from the Vox speaker fades to a whisper. Then he let me go. Where are the others? No data available. Optimistic projection? They are dead. Damn. Is there a way I can help you? This statement is false. The voice from the speaker becomes drier and calmer. The impure augmentations were inserted into the technical cycle of the operation of my true flesh. Their direct excision will, with an undetermined yet high degree of probability, cause the cessation of my vital functions. Pascal's fingers widen the edges of the wound. Blood mixed with sacred unguents trickle down his wax-like skin. His sunken chest contains more metal than you thought possible. You see the grey tissue of his lungs pierced by dozens of thin tubes, an unfamiliar organ made of synthetic fiber, imprisoned in a cage of protective rings. The wide cover over his respiratory system that disappears into his trembling larynx. All these augments are riddled with small grafts of xenotech clinging to them like rust. What exactly did they change? Detecting numerous replacements in chain of command distributors, alterations have been made to the operational algorithm of the encoder inside my cortical augment. Pascal now speaks with complete indifference and calm, as if reading out an inventory of spare parts in a warehouse. The chemical inject analyzer has been destabilized. He falters and hints of humanity creep back into his voice. He sounds almost bewildered. There are other changes. I cannot understand what they are, what their function is. Why did they remold you like that? No data available. I hypothesized the purpose behind the alterations was entertainment, curiosity. He was curious to see what was inside me. Then he remade me, to see what I would do next. He wanted to watch me rip his gifts out of myself. If it does not pose an immediate threat to your life, leave the xenometal inside your body for now. We will deal with it later. Request denied. Due to violation of the 9th universal law, the alien mechanism is a perversion of the true path. There is resignation in Pascal's voice. You are a warrior of comprehension. Survive and then comprehend. This statement is true. Pascal's voice grows firm. I am a warrior of comprehension. Comprehension is the key to all things. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. Ugh. I will comprehend the anathema, and in doing so, prevail. I will not yield. Pascal forces himself upright and says in a faltering voice, This unit is ready to serve. Omnissiah, have mercy on me. We did it. We found the boy. The gang's all together again. Logic. Great. Now, your inventory. This is everything. Yes. Tremendous. Okay. We did it. We've found most of the party. So now we have to go back to the arena, correct? Set Heinrichs free. Was he in there? Did I walk past him? Spudling, hello. I've entered the Anatomical Opera. They were also in the Anatomical Opera. Okay.
Always keep your eye on.
Oh, they're up here. Okay. The troll Drukari, whose body is riddled with painful-looking puncture wounds and is dotted with metal rings and clamps, lets out a chuckle as you approach and begins speaking in its own language. Your elucidator hisses to life, translating the words. Spudling, you're a little in the way right now, I'm not gonna lie. Look, Carrion, is this the monkey that cost you your place at the Archon's side? Mazarai's eyes flare with turquoise fire at the sight of you, an immediate, uncontrollable urge to kill. The Drukari seizes the blades hanging from his belt and freezes at the shout of the metal-studded Xenos. Careful with the meat for the arena, Marazai. If Sinisthoria is short on toys for her fighters, you will be punished again. She seems to enjoy pitting you against Chimera. Maybe this time she won't deem it necessary to give back your skin after you slay them all. The motionless Marzai turns his head towards his kin, and you notice a thin red stripe on his neck below his ear like a fresh stitch. Shaking with barely contained rage, the former Draken stares at you with dark eyes. Let's see. So Morazai was skinned and made to fight like this? Well, that is a balm to my heart, and also a delight to my eyes, where something was stirring. It's also a delight to my eyes, where something was still stirring a while ago. Despite the impotent rage on his face, Morazai manages a sarcastic chuckle. Something wriggling in your eye? I see Tervantius has not changed his methods for handling specimens. Your kin do not seem overly fond of you. Morazai casts a contemptuous glance at the witches, and without hesitation switches to Low Gothic. This witch cult scum is not my kin. Half-borns like the Abbeys belong here in the filth of the chasm. He cuts himself off, his gloves squeaking in protest as he clenches his fists. I'm surprised that this one doesn't have one. Most Drukhari are grown in a vat. They're called half-borns. Full-blooded ones go through the normal Eldari gestation period, which is very long. There are not very many of them. No, they're called trueborn. That's what they're called. I saw what happened at the trial. You were tricked. The Drukhari narrows his eyes. Tervantius's creations must have been a low-grade imitation of the mirage, did not completely overwhelm you. Even if what you say is true, what is it to you? You're trapped. I'm trapped. We could help each other. You? Help me? The Drukhari snorts disdainfully. Why would the quarry help the hunter? If you expect me to believe that... Let's make a deal. You help me take out my enemies, and I shall help you take out yours. Mazarai lifts his chin and lets out a hiss, more pensive than angry. Abeus makes an impatient gesture. I'm tired of listening to you and your old friend whispering in that primitive babble. Enough, we must go. Marazai grudgingly obeys the order, but as he walks away, he cannot resist tossing another unreadable look in your direction. He's going to join the party, isn't he? Or we're going to have the option of having him join the party. Seems unimaginable to do such a thing. But I won't say no, because, you know, there's got to be some quality interactions from having him around. If thou seest a flaw in me, smite me. Argenta's hoarse whispers are nothing like the usual clear, almost mellifluous voice that she uses for prayer. Smite me. She looks up at you, her dark eyes gleaming anxiously. Rogue trader, you find me at prayer. Darkness surrounds us, and we will require all the spiritual fortitude our ravaged hearts can master. Are you distraught because of Viscate's face and the deaths of those betrayed by the Commissar? So the Commissar was a traitor? I don't remember ever finding that out, but okay. I'm not surprised. Argenta hangs her head. Yes, I am. I was the one who found those people. I brought them to the Commissar. I prayed for them, and I gave them hope. And he sent them to an abattoir to die for those monsters' amusement. They might have... In their final moments, they might have thought that I, too, had betrayed them. I once more failed to see the wickedness where I should have seen it. I failed those people, loyal and brave. But it is not only that. I thought, naively, that faith and perseverance had helped me, cut through the schemes of the foul Xenos, that we were on a path to freedom. In truth, though, it was all just another part of the act. And the vile monsters must have been cackling with glee as they observed my foolishness. Remain steadfast, we will break free from this darkness. Thank you for your words of solace, Rogue Trader. Argenta pauses, contemplating something. A shadow crosses her face, followed by a flash of unreadable emotion. Tell me, Rogue Trader, do you trust me? Please look into your heart and tell me what you see. I trust you with my life. But what if I am undeserving of your trust? Rogue Trader, To lose hope is to err in the eyes of the Emperor, and I am drawing closer to erring than ever before. The darkness all around me thickens, and the clutches of our captors are strong. If I am to give myself fully to the battle of the head, I will need all my strength, and to summon forth such strength, I must purge my soul. Tell me, will you hear my confession? Of course. I killed Excuse me? That is not what I expected you to say. I killed Theodora von Valancius. I got an achievement called Whodunit for finding that out. Ha! We're all wearing masks, even the most righteous. Jai shakes her head in disappointment. Your light raises her head slightly and looks around, clearly not fully understanding what is wrong, but sensing the shift of the mood around her. Really good thing Abelard isn't here right now, huh? Or Heinrichs, for that matter. Yes, it was me. Not your treacherous kin Voidver. Not the cultists. Me. She speaks with a strange blend of pride and horror in her voice. I'm guessing you found out that she was definitely doing some heretical shit. Like, that wasn't exactly hard to notice. I remember every last detail. The ship was under attack. I grabbed my weapon and ran to her side because I thought it was my duty to protect the Emperor's chosen. And what did I witness when I burst into her study? Theodora von Valancius, a rogue trader, holding a sinister sorceress artifact, radiating with a profane light. It was like a lens. It was a lens like the ones we saw in Rykad's system, except it was smaller and far more potent. I instantly knew it to be a weapon of the archenemy. I had seen objects like it before, on Salius Prime, the planet where I had sought the sacred relic, and where I had nearly died at the hand of cultists. So many things were made clear to me in that moment. So piercing was the revelation. So obvious the answer to how those heretics had found their way to a planet known to none but to those of House von Valancius. I fired before I could even fully comprehend what I was seeing. Terra's light must have guided my hand, for one shot was all it took. The bolter discharge destroyed both the enemy's artifact and its owner's black heart. But, I did not regret killing her, nor do I regret it now. Theodora had succumbed to the archenemy and its dark sorcery. The entire attack on the ship was merely the result of her and Voidger feuding over the spoils, and I realized in my heart the moment I saw the artifact in her hand. But standing in that same room was the Honorable Archmilitant, a devout servant of the Emperor, and the reason I had made it off Salus Prime after the cultist attack. When he saw me firing at Theodora, he instinctively rushed to protect her. I killed him too. Argenta lowers her gaze for a moment. Do you remember the orphans I once asked you to meet with, Rogue Trader? One of the boys was the son of the man I killed. My whole life I had sworn I would not allow villains to orphan children of the Imperium, and then I did so myself. This is what true faith is really about, shooting first and asking questions later, sacrificing the innocent without thinking of the consequences. Where's your humanity, sister? The world is not divided into black and white. Argenta looks at you anxiously, waiting for your reaction. You should have told me the truth. I see no reason to condemn you. Theodora deserved to die for her treachery. As for any other victims, it was acceptable collateral damage. I suppose you are right. I had to punish the heretic, and punish her I did. I'm glad I've revealed the truth to you, Rogue Trader. This honesty has been driving me out of my mind. Alright, well, that was extremely unceremonious. Will you hear my confession? Yes. I did it. Oh, okay, I see. You know, I thought you were just going to tell me that you were, like, faltering in your faith right now or something, you know, that you were starting to maybe not think the Emperor actually cared. No, apparently it was something much more tangible than that. Thirsters of woe and exquisite strife awaits you. The bloodstained proselytes will face the sophisticated killers of the cabal of the poisonous whisper, and the challengers who have already survived one fight in the arena will go against the fresh battle meat provided by the cabal of the wounded skies. Damn, I was rushing through that, and it's just gonna stay there forever.
I will
All right.
your disgusting prejudice.
I am not your seat, monkey. Stop trying, monkey. It is your cause. This team is beneath me. That is beneath me. If I must, I will stand your intent. You cannot force me to talk. That's so weak. I'll do it. Take of deeds is worthless. I'll do it. The Emperor commands I have. Nobody speaks us. You are. Horror awaits.
One of those real cowardice. See all of us succeed? Give me a chance. Full trade.
Break some duties. I'll be your governor. I will stand for it. I can't tell me a bad idea. I won't compromise myself. I am a great leader. No suffering will be. Let me tell you what I can do. There you go. You go run and I go rise.
What's all that time? The foe will go asunder.
Hold your fingers this way. It serves your cause. This heat is beneath me. It serves your cause. I'll do it. That's so weak. Let me face this. Nobody escapes us.
Social media. What shall you do? See all of us succeeds. Whose hand is thunder? Just like his ruin. And it's you now. Fill every part of death with the roots of your bones.
Oh yeah, I refuse. I stand for it. I compromise the principles.
You finish my business in a moment. Forward. Congratulations. You are the next level. Yes, I condemn you.
I know what I'm doing, usually. I'll give you that before I can take it. If I must, I understand my intent. This team is beneath me. It serves your cause. Take your blood and your fire. If I must. I will not. This is unacceptable.
Such a dying disgrace.
Alright, so Ulfar seems pretty overpowered so far, as I would expect for the Space Marine. Abius runs his fingers along the edge of his blade. Your former captives. You have a chance to rectify the mistake that made you forfeit your Archon's favor. One of the witches lets out an acerbic laugh. I doubt your miss will change her mind, and Sinstoria will surely not want to give up her new plaything. Marazai glances at the witches, his eyes brimming with a sea of powerless rage. A moment later, he looks at you. His expression changes slightly, one eyebrow arching as if he's trying to make some agonizing decision. My offer still stands. Would you consider switching sides? Elan Tak. Your light chokes, unable to continue. Ophelia, did you take too many hits to the head? You're not going to... Are you? Ah, a fine jest. She's joking, yes. Ulfar catches your eye and the humor evaporates from his face. Trollballs, you're not joking? Foolish monkey. The former Draken of the Reaving Tempest is the property of the cult, and only the succubi have the right. The tormented expression in Mazarasai's eyes vanished, to be replaced with the malevolent resolve you have come to know. Your offer is accepted, monkey. What did you say, you arrogant wretch? Dude, he's gonna come to the ship with us and, like, he's gonna have to kill people on our ship to survive. But It'll probably be pretty fucking funny. Oh, what a shame Heinrichs wasn't here to see me hire a Dark Eldar as well. Oh, would have been so funny.
Stop trying, monkey. It serves a cause. I am not your seamstress, monkey. I understand your intent.
Bro, he parried the arc lightning. Holy shit.
I am not your seamstress, monkey. If I must.
So it shall be. See how this succeeds.
No, get a copy. How do you pay for this?
My strike is ruined. Look at runes of your bones. God's blade.
Oh, you don't know what you're doing. This team is anything. I understand your intent. I am not your seamstress, monkey.
Wolf's Raid. So it shall be. Wolf's Raid. God's blade. So it shall be.
Close. Ulfar is so fucking strong. A finale as bloody as it is disappointing. The pathetic amateurs who were wrongfully proclaimed champions of the arena have been brought down by the hands of unworthy challengers. Impale the failures and glory to the victor. Get out, monkey, and tell Tervantius that he will pay for this insult. Man, homunculus are the most powerful. You ain't doing shit. Now, outside of, like, Vecht himself, but... Barazai shakes the blood off his blade and turns to you. Battle fury still blazing in his eyes. A moment later, his lips twist into a smile. Well now, one can only marvel at how fickle the fates... At the fickle turns of fate, rogue trader. Your light raises her weapon, uncontained rage flashing in her eyes. I will do what the Elantok did not have the courage to do. Ah, cousin. You have inexplicably managed to earn the forgiveness of the one you betrayed and pushed into Commora's embrace. And now you intend to go against her will by killing me? Your lauded Ashrani's restraint is failing you, much as it has before. Your light hesitates for a few moments, and shrinks under the mocking gaze of the Drukhari. So, monkey, Marzai turns to you with a strange expression, as if struggling to comprehend what has just transpired. You really intend on escaping from the chasm, aren't you? Bold ambitions for arena meat. Call me monkey one more time and this partnership is over. He grimaces. I will make an effort not to. I have no desire to die for spectators' amusement. I take it neither do you. Never. I will break out of the arena, avoid the cult's executioners, and make Uremis and Nazarakai pay for every moment of my humiliation. They will take us to the chasm now. Let's talk somewhere quiet. The Shrieker's Den will do. A turn of the head, a quick glance, a subtle nod. You take notice of a wordless conversation happening among some of your companions. Yes, we have much to discuss. I will head there now. Do not make me wait. You know, gotta say, we are fucking crazy. Like, you know. Ah, yeah, man. We'll take the Drukari that betrayed us. No big deal. It'll be fine, honestly.